There's a lot going on right now. Mounting economic inequality, threats to democracy, environmental disaster, the sour stench of chaos in the air. I'm Brooke Gladstone, host of WNYC's On the Media. Want to understand the reasons and the meanings of the narratives that led us here, and maybe how to head them off at the pass? That's On the Media's specialty. Take a listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what legends have found. Let's hang out. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Let's Hang Out. I'm Ellie Brigida.
And I'm Leigh Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. We want to remind you that we're releasing Patreon bonus episodes this season. We are up to episode 14, which will be coming out on October 16th for Blue is the Warmest Color. If you want to hear those and get more Patreon perks, you can join us at bit.ly/lespatreon.
Also, some of you have been seeing a lot of the content that we've been posting from our trip to Croatia. We had such a blast, and we are so excited to be working with Trova Trip again. We are going to be going to Costa Rica the first week in May. It's going to be May 1st through May 6th. We are going to be having an absolute blast, retreat style, up in a national park in Costa Rica. We're going to be going horseback riding and doing hot springs and spas and all sorts of good stuff. If you would like to sign up, we have currently only filled 2 of the spots. So there are lots of options, and there are still, I think, 8 spots that are discounted. They're $100 off if you're one of the first 10 people to sign up for the trip. You can find all of the details and sign up at bit.ly/Let's Costa Rica.
In the greater Les universe, the new season of Survivor has not 1, not 2, but 3 queer contestants. So let's go. You know Survivor has the best gay contestants, and we can't wait for this season.
Speaking of reality TV, you also have probably seen a queer reality dating show. It's called Coming Out for Love. You can find all the episodes at comingoutforlove.com. And if you wanted to catch up, like it might be useful for an upcoming episode sometime this season. No spoilers, just saying.
Yeah. Also, LaFonza Butler is replacing Dianne Feinstein and will be the first Black lesbian senator. So that is a huge deal. We are here for it.
As a Californian, I'm pretty excited to have, that kind of
good job,
that kind
Leigh.
of Senate representation going on. Amazing. Also, Wednesday of this week, October 11th, National Coming Out Day. Always a good one. I love Coming Out Day.
Happy coming out to all of you, and to those of you who have yet to come out. We are still here for you whenever you decide to or do not decide to come out. That is totally up to you, but we are happy to celebrate all of the beautiful gays who are sharing their stories this week,
and everyone who's come out in the last year and stuff. Like I feel like we've had a
lot of good.
It's been a big year for the gays.
Yeah. Huge year for the gays.
That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Leigh.
Thanks, Ellie and Leigh, and welcome to our 113th installment of Should Have Been Gay.
Oh, it was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, it's the girls, Ellie. The girls have gone wild for spring break.
They're wild.
They are wild indeed.
Wild murderers, the huge.
The huge. Just your typical spring break.
Yeah, just your typical bikini kill.
Sure.
Oh, this one is something else.
For this week's episode, we are going to be diving into the 2012 hit film Spring Breakers. We would like to say, as we dive in, because we know, we know that the WGA strike is ending and that they got basically everything I think that they were asking for, which is incredible. SAG strike still going on, so we are remaining in solidarity until that gets resolved. Spring Breakers is an A24 film, which many of you might know. A24 has already agreed to meet all of the demands of both unions and therefore is not under strike.
We can talk about them, but also means we had a little bit of a limited selection, and we decided to pick this movie because it features Vanessa Hudgens, Ashley Benson,
Selena Gomez. I mean, just an all-star cast, really, for the gays.
And what I found out today, the wife of the director.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Playing who?
As one of the 4 main girls.
Wow. Hot stuff.
Yeah. So when you're like, who's this girl I don't recognize? It's because the director cast his wife.
Amazing.
Yep. But yeah, so let's IMDb synopsis this because I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, and then we have to, I don't know if this IMDb synopsis can ever really come close to
I promise you, it
what
does not.
actually happens in this film.
Okay, IMDb synopsis for Spring Breakers is as follows. 4 college girls hold up a restaurant in order to fund their spring break vacation. While partying, drinking, and taking drugs, they are arrested, only to be bailed out by a drug and arms dealer.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I guess those things happen. This was a wild fever dream of a film.
It really is.
Like,
it really is.
When it got to the point where James Franco was having a threesome with Vanessa Hudgens and Ashley Benson in the pool, I lost it.
It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot.
Yeah,
so
we'll get
hit me with your gay synopsis, Ellie.
Here's my gay synopsis. If Thelma and Louise and 8 Mile had a love child that was aggressively lesbian and poly. That's it.
Incredible. Okay, my gay synopsis, because I'm gonna take us on a wild ride of an interpretation of this film at some point in this discussion. So my gay synopsis, as like a teaser, is 4 lesbians journey into the world of heteronormativity as an experiment for spring break, and ultimately they all bail one by one.
Ultimately, they're like, get me out of this heteronormative hellscape.
Yes. That's my gay synopsis of this movie. For the sake of anyone, because I know this, I feel like this is a slightly more deep cut of a film.
It's a bit of a deep cut.
I don't know if everyone has seen it. In case anyone hasn't seen it, should I do like a super quick?
I don't know how quick we can do it, but yes. Let's talk about what happened.
Or do you want to do our discussion while we sort of break down some of the main plot highlights? Because there's not, I mean, honestly, not much happens.
I think we should do our discussion when we break down the main plot points because the plot was so hilarious.
It really is. This is a journey we are about to go on. Okay.
Comical.
So then maybe let's start with this. So we meet our 4 main protagonists, who are Candy, Britt, Cotty, and Faith. And they are 4 girls who are best friends. They're college students. They live in any
Middle
West
of the
Bumfuck town,
nowhere. Yeah.
USA. Unclear where they are, but they're just like, we are in small town nowhere and we want to get out and live the big life for spring break, right?
But we only have $300 between all 4 of us. What will we ever do?
Please, sir, may we have some parties?
Also, to just like add to the gayness of this. So Candy and Britt, to me, those 2 have been they've been together for like
their tongues have been inside each other's bodies, and I will die on that hill. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Leigh, we basically saw it. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's canon. Like, they're together, right?
Yes.
So they're constantly touching each other. Like, to me, they're together. Like, it's pretty obvious. And I like would be surprised if this film was not even was telling us they weren't. Like, I thought the film said they were together.
Well, it's also like, okay, here's what I think is so funny about this movie, because you meet these girls, right? And they kind of have this setup of like, oh, you have the 3 bad girls, and then there's Faith, right? Like Selena Gomez's character is so over the top in your face named Faith, and she goes to church group and she's a good girl, but she has this group of friends that she's known she's known since she was little, and they're all wild girls, you know. And also
her mom says that Britt and Candy are evil.
Yeah.
And I think
can I tell you?
Together.
Because they're gay. Yeah, for sure. Like 1000%.
Yeah, but tell me.
Okay, so I watched this on the plane on our flight to Croatia, and so I took my notes in a notebook, which I don't usually do when I'm watching Should Have Been Gays. Like usually I type them up. It's easier to get through them later. These are like written down. My first note for this movie that I also just thought was the funniest thing is I just wrote down, is that Britney S. Pierce?
Yes.
Because this is, and I'm not going to lie, this is actually a cornerstone of my argument for this movie, is that when we meet Faith and her whole church group and all of her church group friends are like, I don't know, your friends make me nervous. One of them is Brittany from Glee, is played by Heather Morris.
Yes.
And so that actually becomes a cornerstone of my argument that I'll get into at some point. But I really think that like the spring break journey is a journey into the world of like men and heteronormativity.
And they realize, not for me.
Not for me, yeah. Also, Selena Gomez is like a fucking baby in this. She's so young.
The funniest thing about this movie is all of these people, right? Disney babies, right? Disney babies, or like, you know, Ashley Benson, Pretty Little Liars. I don't know if this is before Pretty Little Liars or after.
After.
Or
during or after. Yeah.
Either way, I feel like especially Vanessa Hudgens and Selena Gomez were like, this is my moment to be a serious actress and do something crazy.
And being a serious actress means we all make out.
Yeah, means making. Like means we all make out, and I have a weird 3-way with James Franco and my best friend. Means I shove a gun in James Franco's mouth and say, "You like it."
They also start with they start that shit so early in this movie where it's like they get together and they're like, let's see how much money we have saved up for spring break, right? And in like their dorm rooms, and then they're walking down the hallway. And okay, I went to college. You went to college, Ellie. Tell me if this was a common occurrence while walking down your dorm hallway in college was for one of you to like both feet climb your way up the wall so that you are standing sort of spread eagled like 4 feet off the ground in the hallway, like propped between 2 walls, and to have all of your friends walk underneath you through your legs and pantomime licking your crotch as they walked by. Was that like a thing that you did all the time? Because like, I mean, I know that just rang so many nostalgia bells for me, right? Like all the time.
A very definitive lesbian college experience.
Yeah. Just a common way to walk through hallways that we all did.
Yes.
in our youth.
I know. I wrote that down too. I was like, they're so sexual with each other.
Yes.
The person who wrote this movie and directed it, their name is Harmony. So you're like, oh, no, it's a man.
It's a man.
Right? So, and we know it's a man because you watch it. And like, from the second I started watching it, I was like, a man wrote and directed this film.
Oh, God. Everything about this movie is like, you're having a sleepover in your teddies and you're going to lick each other's body. I mean, it is.
It is, but also like, it's that a lot. Plus he's like, but you're a dirty girl. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like it's like they're bad, right? Like Vanessa Hudgens' character is like so like her and Ashley Benson, their entire thing is like, oh, we get a thrill off of like pushing men down to their knees and saying like get down on your knees, motherfucker. We like you think we're hot, but like we're gonna fuck you up.
When we talk about male gaze, this movie is like the epitome of male gaze, but like for a very also specific set of kinks.
Yes. Like, that's what I'm saying. This is male gaze. Like, I'm like, this is like Harmony, whatever his name's like Pornhub. And he's like, how can I make this artistic?
Yes.
Oh, let's just change the colors. Like the coloring of it. I saw this interview too with all the girls that were like, you've never seen a movie like this before. Like, we watch it and we're like, wow, it's like so artistic and beautiful.
And you're like, literally just click any movie on any porn site.
I would die to hear what these 4 actresses think of the movie now.
Yeah, it hasn't. I don't think it's aged well.
But it also just gives like teenagers who are like, this is my like serious acting break.
Yeah, I'm doing cinema. And cinema means sitting on a bed with all my friends saying, wow, all this money makes my pussy wet. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
It's high art we are doing right now.
High art. Okay, but let's continue through the film. Sorry.
Okay.
We're early.
So we meet these girls. They want to go to spring break. They live in a shit town, and they're like, we have to get out of here. This can't be all that our life is, right? And so, yes, they only have their like measly couple $100s. They don't have enough to go on spring break. The 3 bad girls come up with a plan, and they're like, here's our plan. We have a fake squirt gun of vodka. We have some masks and a hammer. And we're going to go rob this diner and fund our spring break trip. And honestly, they spend 0 time on the decision-making process for this. It's just like, they're like, we don't have enough money. Here we are, like, smashing people's dinners in their faces.
And setting the getaway car on fire.
They steal someone's car. They steal their professor's car to rob this place. to fund their trip. And it's like the movie just sort of glosses over this whole thing. They're just like, here we go, and now you're at spring break. And then they're at spring break. And spring break again is where, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like the male gaziness of this film.
It's very like, you know that Wedding Crashers sequence where they all like, it's just like women after women flopping naked on a bed.
Yes.
Like this is it, right? It's like
yes.
MTV Spring Break, Girls Gone Wild. It's just like topless women, shots, people doing coke off of someone's like belly button. Like it's like intense.
This movie is like, come for James Franco playing a problematic role for a white man, stay for the tits and asses. Like that's kind of the selling point of the film, I guess, because there are so many, like I was watching this on a flight and I'm like, there are so many gratuitous scenes of just topless spring break girls. Yes. Like shots of boobs. It is a lot of boobs and they are slow motion.
Yep.
Boobs bouncing around. They are, and also, so here's one of my favorite things. And again, this has a lot to do with some of my interpretation of the film is for other people who were, you know, like who could just see my phone on the plane, all they know is I'm watching a lot of boobs. What they don't hear is Selena Gomez giving us Faith's incredible voiceovers over these scenes where she's like, I know, Nana, it's magical here. Everyone is just so sweet and nice. It's like it's spiritual. It's so beautiful. I want to stay here forever. Someday I'd love to take you here, Nana. And it's just like ass, tits. Ass.
Yeah. It's perfect. Like the voiceovers are so funny.
It's so funny. It's so the contrast is unreal.
Spring break, we found ourselves. Yes. We became ourselves.
Everyone's just so sweet and different here, Nana.
And they're literally like doing coke off a stripper. It's so beautiful.
It's spiritual. I feel God here with me.
Mm-hmm. Can you also imagine if she brought her Nana?
I mean, I don't know what Nana's into.
Faith left crying and then is like, Nana, let's go.
Let's go, Nana. I mean, so here's the thing. Because Faith is having a certain time at spring break, right? Like everyone else, the girls are like, yeah, drugs, alcohol, parties, dancing, woo. Faith is like in a pool at their little motel with them being like, I wish we could all buy a house here together and live here with the four of us.
Yeah, she's like lesbian commune. Who has not had a lesbian commune conversation with their best friends? That is Selena Gomez.
That is Selena Gomez in this movie. She is literally just like, this is the happiest I have ever been, is here with you guys in bikinis every day. And I just want to buy a house and live here together, all of us together forever, topless and in our bikini bottoms every day in a house with the four of us. for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. Stereotypically, a very straight thing to say, Selena.
Yes. Yeah. Reeks of heterosexuality.
I am loving this version of the movie that you're saying about the heteronormativity, because it is like, she's like, it's me and my girlfriends. And then they go to the party and they get arrested. And this man shows up. And who's the first person to jump ship?
Oh, Faith is like, men were not what I signed up for.
She's like, why is this dude here? Get me out of here.
Yeah. She's like, I just want to watch my friends like you know,
lick
just
each other.
Lick shots off each other and like snort coke off each other's bodies. I did not sign up for men, please and thank you. Like, goodbye. Mm-hmm. She's out so fast. Well, and because realistically, until James Franco shows up, a lot of what you actually see are the girls. Like, I can't remember which one of them it is. Maybe it's Candy, who's Vanessa Hudgens' characters. There's Vanessa at one point when they're Candy, yeah, when they're like doing the drugs with those two dudes, like the twins.
Yes.
One of them is telling, oh no, maybe it's different boys. I don't remember. I just have a note where like one of them is definitely telling some of the boys that they party with, like, you're never gonna get this pussy, like never. Connie. And I'm like, Faith was up for that part of Spring Break, right? Like, Faith was up for that part of Spring Break, and Faith is up for the parking lot scene where they're recreating their robbery for her, and they're like, get on your fucking knees, Faith. And she's like, yes, I'm into this, right? And then James Franco shows up, and she's like, I am out. Bye, girls.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not having fun anymore.
Yeah.
But to be fair, okay, Faith is the only one who's not an idiot, because true. This drug dealer picks you up, pays for your bail, takes you to a party, and
takes them immediately to a strip club too.
Yeah, takes them straight to a strip club. Faith is good to be a lesbian and religious, but like, this is too far. Yeah. Right? That's the thing. It's like, she's so gay. She's like, I can be gay. God doesn't care. But then she's like, God cares about this.
God cares about this man. She's like, God doesn't want me with a man. I know that much. No, he takes them to a strip club so fucking fast. And of course, all of these girls are like, yeah, fucking strippers. I'm into it. Of course you are. You're all the giant, like the biggest dykes I've ever seen.
Yes.
Like, so gay. Also, shout out to I think it's near the strip club scene that they're like making out. And I just have to say, watching James Franco like lick the inside of their mouths is basically like an advertisement for becoming a lesbian. Oh, like not
James
attractive.
Franco in this is heinously unattractive. And I was like, what a great actor because of that. I'm like, because like James Franco has been cute in other things. And I was like,
no, he is hideous
God,
in this.
He is disgusting.
Yes. Yeah. And also, I have my theories about Alien not being straight any more than these girls are, because I'm sorry, but when Ashley Benson has the gun at crotch level and she's like mouth fucking him with a gun, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but like, this man is for sure blowing this gun. And also, like, does Ashley want to wear a strap or something? Like, what? She's into it.
All the like, that's halfway through I was like, it's gay, and then a little further on I was like, is this a Essentials?
Yeah. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. Well, and like you were saying, I wouldn't
recommend the film, but it's like,
no.
Literally the whole point, really, I think, okay, so like Cotty leaves at some point because she gets shot, which is also just like, what in... I thought we were going on spring break. I didn't sign up to get shot with a machine gun.
Yeah.
But Cotty, I feel like, was so irrelevant to the story. Like,
she's also like not in half of those scenes. Like, Faith leaves, and then the movie's just like, here's Britt and Candy like mouth fucking James Franco with a gun, and then you're like, where is Cotty? Is she like in the bathroom? Like, what did she? Is she like making like some? She's got a bowl of cereal in the kitchen. Like, where did she go?
I don't know.
She basically shows up again to get shot in the arm.
Yes, she's like, let me be in the back of this car so I can get shot. But I feel like the main thread, that's why I was like so Thelma and Louise. The main thread of this film, I almost thought that they were going to kill him at that point.
Kill Alien?
Yeah. Because they basically start like, they're all like, oh, we're flirting and whatever. And then Vanessa Hudgens. Also, I love that this is Vanessa Hudgens in this role. That Vanessa Hudgens and Ashley Benson take loaded guns, point them at this man, put him to his knees, and shove the guns in his mouth to basically be like, if you don't suck on this gun, I will kill you.
And then they all fuck in a pool with like the most bisexual lighting I've ever seen. Yeah, it's... Listen, this movie is something.
But I was like, okay, so Britt and Candy are lesbians who basically went on spring break and were like, have been using this man the entire time.
Yes.
Like, and are like, okay, this man has money and we need money. So let's like pretend we're interested in him. He's such an idiot. And like, I thought they were going to kill him there. And then they were like, maybe we can keep him around a little longer.
It's insane. So, okay, so I feel like we blew past some of the only actual plot, which is like the girls get arrested at a party. They don't have money for bail. This guy, James Franco, plays a character named Alien. He bails them out. He brings them to a strip club. Faith bounces to go back home. And he's like, oh, come back to my house. Like, my life is so fucking cool. Look at my fucking guns. Look at my fucking bed.
Shit.
Like, look at all my shit. And it is an incredibly problematic role. And then,
this is the American dream.
Yeah, he basically talks them into like he's having beef with this other gangster in their like I don't remember where they're supposed to be.
I think they're in
Florida,
Miami, somewhere in Florida. No, maybe not.
No, St. Beats sounds like it could be right. Either way, they're having like a turf war with this other guy who runs a strip club that he takes them to, who's played by Gucci Mane. He like basically ropes them into his like turf war with this guy Archie, and then he's like, "Let's go kill him." And so they all just like strap the fuck up and like they like fuck in his pool, and then they're like, let's go kill Archie. And their plan is literally just like roll up in a boat to his private dock full of armed like gangsters with our guns.
Also be dressed in bikinis and
bright pink
bikinis and
bright pink.
I thought they were yellow bikinis and a pink hat and a pink mask.
Pink mask.
Yeah, pink mask.
I mean, just an absolutely insane plan. Alien immediately gets shot in the head and killed, right? And then for no reason that I can possibly decipher, Britt and Candy are like, I know, we'll just take our fucking bikini-clad bodies. It's, you know what it was like? It's like when you watch like a Star Wars movie and you're like, the stormtroopers can't hit anything. You're like, how do you walk in to a like reinforced, heavily armed,
home.
Like arms dealers headquarters with like 50 dudes loaded to the fucking teeth with guns who somehow cannot any of them manage to shoot either of two small women in bikinis. And these girls who have never fired a gun in their lives are like fucking straight up like kill shotting, headshotting all these guys left and right. They are just like in a blaze of like gunfire. They are just like calmly walking their bikini clad asses into this dude's house and dropping men left, and they shoot so many people. So many people. And then they just like wander into his room, shoot Archie, and then leave.
At Radiolab, we love nothing more than nerding out about science, neuroscience, chemistry.
But we do also like to get into other kinds of stories. Stories about policing or
politics,
country music,
hockey,
sex. Of bugs.
Regardless of whether we're looking at science or not science, we bring a rigorous curiosity to get you the answers.
And hopefully make you see the world anew.
Radiolab, adventures on the edge of what we think we know.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone. So we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural then and now.
Hey, do you like true crime? Me too. And I know what you're thinking. There's so many true crime pods out there, you've already heard all the stories. Well, what if I were to tell you you're wrong? I'm Leroy Luna, the host of Excuse Me, That's Illegal, the podcast that takes a hardcore look at softcore crime. I've got a back catalog of hundreds of bizarre and hilarious stories just waiting to be heard by you. So come join me. Excuse Me, That's Illegal is available anywhere you get your favorite podcasts, with new episodes dropping on the 10th, 20th, and 30th every month, baby!
Hi, I'm Laura Cathcart-Robbins, and I am the host and creator of the podcast, Only One in the Room. Every week, my co-host Scott Slaughter and I invite you to join us and lose yourself in someone's only one story. The Only One in the Room has a wide variety of guests, from prisoners to abuse survivors to swingers. With 21 seasons and counting, we guarantee that Only One in the Room will have a story that you'll connect with. This podcast is for anyone who has ever felt alone in a room full of people, which is to say that this podcast is for everyone.
And that's the movie.
Steal his car, steal all of his things, and leave.
It's wild.
Comical. It is. I was dying. I was like, just like buck-ass naked. And they can't hit them.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. So, okay, and then and then again you get this more voiceover, and I just want to shout out the voiceover at the ending of this film that's saying, "We're different people now. More colors, more love, more understanding."
But that's what I'm saying. It's literally these two gay bitches who were like, we're going to have a better life now because we just killed all these men. We took all their things. We're the men now, bitch. Like, we're the captain. And then they just drive away in a freaking Maserati. I don't know what it was. What was it?
I don't know cars, man. I don't know cars.
They drive away in some sort of sports car. Just the two of them. And I mean, it ends, so like maybe there are repercussions, but I feel like it just like it's basically saying like they are gonna have no repercussions for their actions. They're good. They called their parents like, we're gonna go back to school. We're gonna be better. I'm like, you girls are going to have a 4-year fuck fest wherever you can go.
Yeah, you just shot so many men. So okay, well, and so here's the thing: from a straight like the plot of this movie perspective, this movie makes none sense. No. Not a speck of sense is made, right? It is weird from start to finish because there's no reason that is given for these girls to be like this, right? Like, I understand the idea of saying like, hey, you have these girls, they're in a small town, they want to go to spring break, they're going to do some drugs, they're going to party, they're going to like let loose. Maybe they're going to rob a diner to get the money to go there. Okay, fine. But there's like no explanation given as to like, why do these girls like, I am choosing to believe that I live in a world where like your average off the street, you know, kind of like hometown girl with a crap town life is not just going to randomly roll up to like an arms dealer's house and shoot 50 men in the head. Like that feels
a little excessive. I think
that feels like a decision that usually requires like something that like gets you there, like something brings you to that
motivation.
point.
And you think that Britt and Candy's motivation was like, we can't live our lesbian love life in our small town. We need money to go away together and just be just the two of us.
No. I have a totally different interpretation of this movie that makes it make sense in my mind. Okay, because I don't think this movie gives us any character development to work with for the actual plot of it. It is absolutely nonsensical in my mind. So here's what I think. Here's my analysis of this movie. Okay, and it is largely informed by the fact that Britney S. Pierce is in Faith's church group, okay? Because we meet her church group. We know that Faith is gay as fuck. And I think that her church group, to me, represents queer community, okay? I'm taking like everything is flipped on its head.
It. It's like a Nightmare Before Christmas kind of vibes.
Yeah. Switch it up. So like flip everything on its head, okay? So the church group is like homosexuality. This is like queer community. This is queer culture. You have all these girls, they're gay as fuck, right? But they're like
gay.
But they're like
hugging.
This maybe the world is like, I want to see something else. I want to see what else is out there. Like, maybe it's an easier life if we like pass as straight people. Like, maybe there's like something that we like, maybe we can be happy and be satisfied with that. Okay. And so they like get the money to go, and they like go, and then they're like, okay, we are now in the den of iniquity that is heterosexuality. They're like, here are these men, here are like, everything is about our bodies, here are these titties, everything is about men consuming our bodies, right? Like, that's what so much of this film is. It is gratuitous shots of tits. It is men like doing drugs off your boobs. It is them, and at the same time, while they're in that space, they are constantly turning away these men.
Yes.
Right? Constantly turning away these men. And Faith is like, maybe we can make a home for ourselves here anyways that is still just for us. Like, maybe we can buy a house for just the four of us. Maybe we could still have our lives, but be in the
big
larger
city.
Larger
be
world,
in a more diverse world with more heteros.
Yes, maybe we can make our own space in amongst the hetero world, right? And Faith is like trying, and then somehow there's like, now they have like, the arrest to me is like straight society being like, no, there's no place for you here.
Straight, you can't be gay here.
You can't tell men that pussy's not for them. Like, how dare you? Straight to jail.
What was our crime? You told that man your pussy was not for him.
Yes,
you are
correct.
And in fact, in this society, your pussy is for him.
Is for him. So they go to jail, right? And then as soon as Alien shows up, Faith is like, I'm out. Like, this men is not what I signed up for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Cotty is like, getting penetrated by a bullet is not what I it's not what I signed up for, right? And Britt and Candy are like, we can make this work for us because, like you said, Alien, not that bright of a guy. And so they're like, I have strap game. I can sort of like make you believe that we are into this. Let's have this threesome in a pool where we're like making out with each other a lot, and he doesn't seem to care. Like, let's do this. They find a beard. They find an extremely problematic white man beard.
I also love, so this is one thing about the threesome sex scene was something else for me, but so it was basically, listeners, let me just describe what's happening. Basically, James Franco is penetrating Ashley Benson.
One of them.
I think Ashley Benson. And Vanessa Hudgens just keeps like jumping like
on his back.
Yeah, she keeps like trying to get like as close as she can to Ashley. She's like on Ashley's back. She's like she's like kissing Ashley. She's like trying, and she's like, okay, let me go underwater. Like, she's trying so hard.
Yeah,
like,
to like get around him.
Get in, yeah, like she's like, get me in there. Like,
okay. Also, slight sidebar. Maybe this is just me as a person who like hasn't fucked in pools a whole lot in my life. Wouldn't you just go to the shallow end?
Oh, yeah, they're in the deep end.
They're like floating in the deep end. And I'm like, that can't be easy. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just, one arm has to constantly be out of the pool. And like, how do you get any leverage? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I think it was probably just better for the shot.
It feels like you would just go to the shallow end.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't have experience with that whole situation either.
I'm like, I just feel like you can't get any motion really going
the
in that scenario.
traction would be difficult.
It's just like insertion and then floating.
But that's what I feel like. I feel like he's literally used. Like, she's just like, he's inside of her, but like not. They're floating. They're hanging.
Yeah.
And Vanessa's doing all the work. She's like, she's running around, whatever.
Wild.
And
Vanessa's swimming underwater.
Yeah, she's like, let me get to the tit.
Vanessa's got a snorkel on.
Yeah. She was doing a lot of work in that scenario. But my favorite gay thing about it is Alien says to them, I think I'm in love with you.
Oh, God.
And Vanessa says, we love you too. She says we. They always talk like Candy and Britt are a package pair.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so they never are with Alien without the other person. And that is like, I'm like, that's why I'm saying, I was watching as like Les Centrals. They are together.
They are together. They are for sure together.
For sure.
Yeah.
yes, like because it was 2013, they had to have a man in this threesome scenario. But even in the threesome scenario with the man, they're mostly just making out with each other. And he just seems to be there as an accessory. Like he is a dildo. Like he's a human dildo. And they're just like hanging around.
He is for sure their beard. Well, and so here's the thing is I feel like Faith and Cotty, like they get out, right? Britt and Candy are like, we can make this work. Like we can use this man. He is loaded. He is not very bright. He doesn't seem to notice that we're really only into each other. And they're like, this is a deal. This is a good deal, right? We're okay with this scenario. We can live with this setup. We can use this man for all of his shit. Have
he very generously
uninterested sex with him occasionally where we're like mostly mounting each other.
Yeah.
This is great, right? And so they're like, sure, why not? But then society is like, nope, that man has to die. And what do they do in response? They kill a whole army of men and then go back to their gay life, right? And they're like, okay, well then, fuck you, heteronormativity. Like, we're not going to play by your rules. We're just going to kill all of the men.
Well,
all of the men, and then piece the fuck out of here.
I think they they wanted Alien to die.
Interesting.
Because they were like pushing him. They were like, you're a scaredy cat. Like, you won't do it. You know what I mean? Like, they were literally like, you won't kill someone. Like, they were planning it. But the crazy thing is, like, I don't know how they could have ever known they would not die. But I feel like they were like, if we go to this place, this man will die. That was their plan the entire time because
their love for each other keeps them safe, Ellie. It's like a shield.
Yeah, right.
Shield
they
of
have
gayness.
A shield of gay around them. That's the only thing better than body armor.
Doesn't God give his strongest warriors a shield? Like I'm telling you, this is gay church group God is like shielding his gays in battle with the power of their love for each other because
and bikinis.
This movie, tell me that my interpretation doesn't make more sense than any of the plot of this film.
Oh, it makes complete sense.
It's this movie outside of that interpretation is like, I mean, it really is. It's basically just like one man's like kink film.
Yes.
And I can't do it.
In a gay world, it's these two small town lesbians who go on spring break, use a man, murder him and every single one of his enemies, and take basically all of the drug money that has ever existed in St. Pete's. They have. Because they took aliens' money.
They're fucking loaded. They're going to go form a lesbian commune in whatever like bumfuck town they live in.
They're out of there.
And they're going to form a lesbian commune where they all wander around in their bikinis and snapbacks, just like they've always dreamed.
Ski masks.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, I'm not going to say that like I'm mad at a movie that puts these actresses in bikinis and makes them wander around on screen for us for an hour and a half. Like, okay, fine. They're all good looking. I get it, Mr. Man, but the male gaze is so strong.
The male gaze is so strong in this.
So much.
Oh, there were just some really weird moments. One of the weird moments I wanted to mention because it cracked me up was when James Franco is playing the piano and singing about chickies. And
was it when he's singing Britney Spears at them?
No, that was another time. He's playing one note on the piano and he's like,
yeah.
Then one chickie got shot in the arm. And he's just like, that little chickie going back to the farm. And you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Then, yes, he plays a song by Britney Spears on the piano. I think Alien is queer as well. So
he's for sure gay. Alien is way too into that gun in his mouth. I'm sorry.
Well, I also think okay.
Like she puts that gun in his mouth and he's like, this is so hot. And you're like, my good man.
The way that this film is actually made is so male gazy. However, if you look at it from because it's like Alien has two girls, right? And this other guy has these two girls who sleep with him together. So I feel like it's like, like men who have a lot of money, just like, they have threesomes all the time. And like, it's like so cool to live that life with like girls and money, right? But if you look at it like in a queer lens, it's like Alien literally is like, wow, I really love these two women. Like, I think they're my soulmates. And then he's like, you know, we don't have to be monogamous. Like, I know you two are together. Like, you love each other, but like, let me be your third. You know, like
he wants to be a unicorn. Is what you're saying.
He wants to be a unicorn. Unicorn Island. And, but he really, like, if you look at it from a queer perspective, they are like a pretty like good, quote unquote, good polycule. Yeah. Whereas I do feel like it is all three of them always, besides the fact that like clearly the primaries are Brit and Candy and they're like in our unicorn.
Yeah.
But there's no like they never have any jealousy. They never have any like fighting over Alien. They're just like, yeah, of course we all three would sleep together because that's the only option here.
Sometimes a family is two lesbians and a bisexual confused man, you know?
Exactly, with grills.
And a lot of guns.
And lots of shit in his house. I wish I wrote down all the stuff. He was like, "Look at my stuff," and I swear to God, it went
look
for like,
look at my sword. Look at my machine guns. Look at my bed. Look at my it's a lot. It's a lot.
The point where they were singing Britney Spears, I was like, oh my God! Now Vanessa Hudgens is singing, and we have like a weird, like High School Musical moment with this drug dealer.
I mean, but also they all sound, because they're all good singers, right? Like Vanessa Hudgens can sing, Ashley Benson can sing, Selena Gomez can sing.
No, that's why it was funny to me when they all start singing, and I was like, are we turning into a musical here?
Yes, yes.
Like, I'm like, okay, so we're killing a man, but also we're singing, like, we're breaking free. Oh my God.
This is Candy High School Musical, the gayer, drug-fueled years.
Yes. Yes, this is like Gabriella graduates, goes to college. She meets Britt and she's like, wow, sorry, Troy, I'm gay now, but I still want to sing. Play me some Britney, please.
High School Musical 7, Sex, Drugs, and Spring Break. Yeah. It's just wild. Wild start to finish. What a film. Listen, if you enjoy
boobs,
random shots of women's tits,
I guess.
I guess you could watch
this movie. It's not really the most satisfying. Like, I feel like you can't, I don't know, Leigh, as a queer woman, like, yes, I like boobs, but like, I don't really want to watch Spring Break boobs. Like,
it was,
you know, consensual
super male
boobs.
Gazy. It was very
boobs,
like
great for me.
Voyeuristic,
not right.
Male gaze.
It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right.
No, it was weird. It was a little weird.
Really takes you out of it. Girls in bikinis killing a bunch of men. Sort of does it for me.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Okay. Who are we shipping, Ellie?
I mean, for me, Brit and Candy all the way.
Yeah.
Brit and Candy.
What's their Brandy?
Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good dyke you would be.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it. I want to ship Faith with someone, but I think Faith really just wants the little polycule.
Faith
like,
wants all four of them
together.
together. Yeah, she's honestly sad. She's like, this man's breaking us up. Like, I can't handle it.
Okay, can we come up with a name for the four of them? We have Candy, Faith, Britt, and Cotty.
Well, aren't they the Spring Breakers? Like, couldn't we just call them the Spring Breakers?
Well, we could do that, but that's not as fun as coming up with an absolute, like, you know, Frankenstein monster of a ship
Crady.
name.
Candy, Britt, Faith, Cotty, Crady.
Crady. Oh, I like it.
Crady or no, because Crady has the Faith in it. Britann.ith.
What about Cobranth?
Cobranth, I like it. Cobranthi. Add the Y. Always add the Y. But yeah, those four girls are so gay together, but Britt and Candy more so than others. Like, that's it. Like, they're soulmates. They're going to live their best gay lives with like I don't know. How much money do you think they came away with?
A fuck ton. I think the scientific term for how much money they stole is a fuck ton of money.
Let's say like,
but also, don't they steal the car too?
They stole the car.
Like, how do you think you're not going to get caught? Because you basically left a crime scene with 60 odd bodies What did you do with the guns? Did you even wipe anything down? You were walking barefoot. Do you think you don't left prints anywhere? You're going to tell me that Archie does not have some fucking smooth as shit tile floors in that bad boy that are just going to leave footprints? Very little
I
planning.
also was like, did you kill those 2 naked women, or are they the only survivors?
No, they left the women, of course.
Yeah, they were
Come
like,
on.
bye guys. If you want to come
They just
with
load
us?
the women in the back of the
Yeah,
car
they're
with
like,
them.
hop in.
Hop in. They're like, do we need clothes? No.
No. Yeah, they're going to get caught, but we like to leave them on a high note.
Sure.
What a wild ride. I don't think the feelings I felt during this film were
uncomfortable at best.
I felt so uncomfy the whole time. So yeah, no need to watch it again, everyone, unless you really want to be super uncomfy and watch some male gaze shit, but it could have been gay.
It's a whole lot.
Should have been gay.
Should have been gay.
Whew. All right, here we go. Ready for our Q and gay?
I'm ready.
Q and gay.
Question number 1. What did you do for spring break? A, Florida, B, Cancun, C, visit family, D, stay on campus.
I guess I'm going to have to say C, visit family. I usually went home for spring break.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I ever did. I definitely did not do a Girls Gone Wild version of spring break ever.
No.
Like maybe, I think one spring break we went on choir tour.
Kelsey and I went to Paris one year. That was fun.
Actually, most spring
my
breaks
senior
we went to choir
year.
tour.
My senior
Yeah.
year, we went to France together.
That's nice.
But yeah, otherwise I usually just went home.
Yeah, I think I went home or choir tour, which choir tour we went to Florida, but we sang at a bunch of churches. So we were not getting spring breakers. I didn't kill anyone.
Less doing coke off a stripper.
Yeah, more
Sure.
like singing in a cathedral kind of vibe, you know? Yeah.
Okay, question 2, Ellie. Which of the girls is the gayest out of A, Candy, B, Britt, C, Faith, or D, Cotty?
It has to be A, Candy. Vanessa Hudgens was the gay ass. Like,
She
Vanessa
was a
Hudgens
lot.
was so gay. All right, question number 3. What's the worst crime you've committed? A, shoplifting, B, jaywalking, C, Grand Theft Auto, or D, I'm a saint?
Probably B, jaywalking. I jaywalk a lot.
I feel like you put that in there just so you could be like, I do bad things. I swear.
I was trying to think of like, what can we put in there that are not, I'm like, I'm not going to put murder, and then you get a vote for it on the thing, and I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm like, what are things I'm okay with someone admitting to?
Grand Theft Auto you're okay with as well? But
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I could live with that.
okay. Sounds good. I'm a saint. No, I mean,
you've never jaywalked, Ellie.
I
Come on.
definitely jaywalk. Everyone
Yeah.
jaywalks, Leigh, unless you're in
I
California.
know that.
Which you
Well, that's why I think it's a good one to put on here,
You're right. All right.
We're all a little bad, Ellie. That way
We're
can
all so bad.
Yeah, we're bad girls. Okay,
Let's hang
question
out. The
4.
porn.
Oh no. Oh no. Question 4. How do you prefer to travel? A, with friends, B, alone, C, in a group with strangers, or D, with family?
How do I prefer to travel? Okay, so since we just got back from our trip to Croatia with a million strangers, good question.
It was a lot of fun though.
It was super fun. I think everyone's different. Well, you also, I guess, does family count as your partner?
Sure.
Like, I feel like it's like D with family. I know some people on our trip were like, traveling with family is chaotic, but like, I like, my family's a little crazy, but I like hanging with them. And then also like, I'd like to do like trips with Jana.
What you're calling family, I guess. That's fair.
Yeah. All right, question number 5. What's the most money you've ever seen in person? In physical bills, what you can wave them around.
Dollar
and
bills.
smell them.
Okay.
All right. A, 100. B, 1,000. C, 10,000. Or D, $1 million. That was not a good Dr. Evil voice, but I tried.
Probably, I guess I guess I have to say B. I don't think I've seen 10 grand in physical
But have you
bills.
seen more than 1,000?
I don't know. I've maybe seen like 1,000 or 2, like something like that, right?
Yeah.
Something around there, right?
Around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a ton. Not
10,000 would be a lot.
10,000's a lot of cash, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what situation would you be in where you would just casually have 10 G's lying around?
Well, spring breakers.
Spring breakers.
That's it.
You're like theft, crime, life of crime.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, maybe if you like made it super big at a casino, I don't know. I don't know where you would see.
But even still,
I'm trying to think of what situations have I been in my life where I would have seen $10,000 in physical bills.
Well,
like that's like a
to live a more exciting life. Leigh. I want to see a briefcase full of money.
Right? That's like briefcase handcuffed to your wrist kind of levels of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's a serious amount of cash to be carrying around. I don't think I've seen that much cash.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
We will.
That's a wild. A thousand is like if you worked
like normal.
If you worked any sort of job and you had to like close out the cash register at night, you might have like a grand in there, you know, or like even just like collecting cash for some of the things on the trip. It's like we easily had
I've had $1,000, and like
there.
also like sometimes if like gigs will pay us in cash, and I'll get like a wad of money.
Yeah.
But
and then do you wave it like
and
that? You go like, yeah.
And I shake it around and be like,
make it rain.
You get money and you get money. But yeah, what a wild ride of a film.
Just insane.
Makes me want to take my top off.
Not sure this is going to go on my list of things to rewatch, but at least, you know, I did the journey.
We've done it.
Check mark.
Listeners, remember, you can also answer our Q&A questions on our Twitter at Let's Hang Out Pod.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 well, yeah.
We love hearing from you and building community, so we want to shout out some of our favorite things each episode. And today we'd like to shout out an anonymous emailer who would like to remain secret, so we will not reveal your secret identity. Don't worry. But they said that the show made them come to terms with their bisexuality, which we're super happy about, and also had a little awakening moment to Lady Gaga's poker face, which we talked about in a previous episode as well. So thank you for reaching out. You know who you are.
We also wanted to shout out just some of the people who have been leaving us some YouTube comments. You know, we mentioned that we have videos going up on YouTube. Some of them, too, are on, like, older stuff. Like, we love getting comments on some of the Renegade covers that have been up for a little bit, because those still bring me a lot of gay joy.
So
Ellie.
much joy.
They're great. So thank you to everyone commenting on our YouTube. It's just, listen, wherever people are interacting with us, it makes us happy.
I also feel like the Renegade covers walked so the flame could run, you know?
So true. So true.
I feel a soft spot in my heart for those covers. As always, we'd like to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Fiona W.,
and Sophia Phillips.
And our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen,
and Andrea Doucette. Thank you as always for supporting us. We could not continue to make the show without you.
Remember, you can find us on all the social medias. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Let's Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at letshangoutpod@gmail.com. We might even shout you out in one of our hip hip we're gays.
You can check out our website at letshangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use for podcasts, make sure you subscribe so you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop.
And we have videos going up on our YouTube channel, so you can subscribe at youtube.com/letshangoutpod to catch all of those.
Let's Hang Out is an independently produced show hosted by us with audio production by me. Our production assistant is Kristen Murison, and Twitter shenanigans by Leigh Holmes Foster.
If you want to help support the podcast, the first thing you can do, leave us a rating and a review on whatever app you use to listen to podcasts. It helps new people find the show.
One of the best ways to support us and make sure that we can support our independent team is to join us on Patreon at bit.ly/lespatreon. It is a significant source of income for us, so we really appreciate all of you who have joined. And if you do join, you get access to our bonus episodes, our Patreon-only Discord chat, Lessentials watch parties, and downloads of our Lessentials songs. And if you checked out last week's, that one slapped. So you're going to want to join.
You can also buy Let's Hang Out merch. We have all of our designs up in our TeePublic. We have some sales coming up this month. Keep an eye on our socials for details on that. We're also going to be putting up some new designs soon for leading into the holidays and things like that. So if you want to look out for those, you can find everything at bit.ly/lesshop.
And remember, we have a queer production company making queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings that you can find everywhere at $dollarbeanprod.
You can also check out our website, dollarbeanproductions.com.
You can listen to all the episodes of our first show, The Flame, on any podcasting app.
And if you want to help support us in making more musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/dollarbeanpatreon.
If you want to follow us individually, you can follow me at Ellie Brigida on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Leigh. And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Listening to a podcast should be time well spent, and I promise it will be if you'll give this podcast a try. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in every episode, I talk with leading experts on topics I know you will find fascinating. From why people can't keep secrets, what your favorite music says about you, why your pet acts in strange ways, and so much more. Something You Should Know is designed to give you information you can use in your life and give you great intel that you can share with others. I'm told it's a binge-worthy podcast, and with over 1,000 episodes, there's a lot to binge on. Something You Should Know has been ranked in the top of the Apple Podcast charts consistently for a long time. I know you're going to like this. I just need to get you to try it. Something You Should Know. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.